All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Today, we're talking about how to mute the noise, but it's more than just that. There is a lot of important aspects to gamification that are based off of marketing. So I am just going to share my screen because we're going to talk about them. Okay, so let me just pull this up. I recently spent the week in Funnel Hacking Live, just reminding myself of all the basics of marketing and the importance of focusing on the basics. Okay, so the things that we talked about is how to mute your competition. Okay, and you know that I'm a gamification expert, so it's something that I focus on all the time. It's important to me to give you the tools to do this too, because it's one thing that helped me. Okay. So when we think about muting our competition, one of the most important things is understanding that there is no such thing as competition. You might be thinking like, what do you mean by that? And what I mean by that is when you have set yourself apart, you really don't have to worry about what other people are doing. And then once you've set yourself apart, you can give your customer a really extraordinary experience where they like, know, and trust you, and they keep coming back to you. So when people ask me like, well, how exactly am I going to mute my conversation? Why do I keep saying conversation? Competition, the best way to do that is by niching down. Okay, so really thinking about where you are in the marketplace and understanding that there's typically 3 huge markets, right? And if you know what they are, you can shout them out on this live. I'll check the comments. The first one, not by any order of importance. Let's see, I'll go to the chat here. Would be health, right? There's so many ways that we can help people increase their livelihood of having a healthy lifestyle, right? I'm going to just drop your comments here on the video and I'll reply to you. The second one would be, anybody, any guesses here what that is? I know you guys know. Okay. The second one would be wealth, right? Okay. So being able to know kind of what category you can work in will help you to really niche down. Okay, relationship is the third one. So anytime that you can find that alignment, you're going to be able to mute the noise around you, because those people won't exist when you are focused on your customer base. Okay, so we're going to pick one. I'll just show you mine so you get a good idea. And I'm literally writing this out as we go for you to see how easy this is to do. Okay, so I would say that mine is wealth because I am focused on the business owner, right? Business owners. And inside of business owners, I help a lot of entrepreneurs, right? These are people that, what do they call them? Like the 1%, right? They're pushing their growers. Okay, so I am in the wealth because I'm helping business owners create more wealth. Okay. And inside of entrepreneurs, the people that I help the most are coaches, experts. Okay. Anyone that really does anything online. Okay. So you can see this with the way that it's kind of played out here. So what I offer, we can talk about like what I offer, because that's also an important aspect. Once I know what we offer, then I can take it into these industries. My offer can go inside these industries, right? So I know my offer. So there might be someone that does gamification and maybe they serve the wellness. They teach wellness people how to gamify their offers. Okay. So that is also a niche, but you can see the importance of niching down here because I can help people, but I want them to be kind of online, right? Because that's my specialty. Okay. So now that I've done that, how am I really going to drown out the noise? Okay. So one of the most important ways is having that customer-centric solution. Okay. And here's an example, just for time's sake. If I'm a mom and I'm really busy and I buy a program from someone that's like, I'm going to give you your time back and I'm going to help you balance work life and I'm going to empower you to have the freedom that you want, and I buy their stuff and then I go into their program, I open it up and there's a video that's like 4 hours long and it's like the welcome video or it's like the whole training video. As a mom with little kids, what's the likelihood that I'm going to stay for all 4 hours? The likelihood is if I have nothing else to do and that's it. I'm the type of person, like when I buy a course, if I can access it and get a little taste of it, that's what I want. Okay. So when we talk about like customer-centric solutions, what we're addressing is particular categories of, we know the pain points of our customers. Okay. So how are even the pain points eliminated by our product? Okay. So like what am I doing to eliminate the pain points all along the way? Okay. This is why gamification is so great, because once we're inside of here, we can see that some of the pain points can be eliminated by using gamification. Okay. So we're going to put, I'm going to show you some of those gamified customer-centric solutions. Okay. And the key points here to keep people in our course and out of our competition is quick, actionable wins, right? What can we do to be able to find those key points where people feel seen and heard? Okay. So when we talk about transformation, we're also talking about being able to measure, right? They have to be based on transformation, right? And Jen just commented, right? Ain't gonna happen, need the bite-sized pieces. That's so true. And Jen is actually really good at this as she is a career coach. So think about that in what you offer, that we need to give quick actionable wins and they need to be based off of transformation. We don't want to give people just assignments for busy work, because we want them to see us as the expert and that we know how to get people there on the clearest path. Okay. So when we talk about solutions, they're quick actionable wins. They're based off of transformation and they can be easily rewarded. Okay. So something that I've come across just recently that has really just been thought-provoking for me is, how am I making my clients feel seen and heard? Because if they don't, they're not going to stick around. And if they want to gamify their elements in their business, then I have to provide solutions that help their clients feel seen and heard, right? So at the end of the day, it's like silly, but so true. Like if you are allowing people to feel seen and heard, they're not going to go to anybody else. They're literally not going to go to anybody else, because the way that you make them feel, right? The offers that you provide and the transformation that you're making. Okay. So make sure that when you're building out these programs, I think I changed the font, that they're based on results. Okay. And they are results that allow them to see the transformation and they want to keep going with you, especially if you're a coach, right? You want to be able to help people through this again and again and again. So these are some of the things that I really just kind of took away from the marketing event. They'd been on my heart, but it was validated again by this topic. And so I want you guys to think about that there are lots of ways that we can prepare people to work with us again and again, and basing those off of results. There was another thing that I wanted to mention. For those of you that just popped on, I was asking like, what color paint should we paint this wall? Agreeable gray or alabaster? Okay. So one of the things that I was thinking about is, when we do offer something, we want to be able to know, let's see if we can get the font right this time. We want to be able to know our definiteness of purpose, okay? When we know what our purpose is, then it's going to be a lot easier to talk to people about it, okay? And knowing for sure, like, this is where you play. This is, maybe another word in marketing is your why. What is your why, right? Maybe another word is, actually just had this conversation with Jen. What is your mission statement? What are the things that you're providing for people that allow them to feel seen and heard, that allow them to know that you are the best solution for that? And these are good for yourself too, to get to revisit why we do what we do in our business, right? And knowing the purpose allows us to build coaching programs and content that infuses our why and allows us to create quick, actionable wins, right? Okay, one vote for agreeable gray. My whole house is agreeable gray, so this wall might go that color. Okay, so I want you to think about, thank you for voting. So I want you to think about, the definiteness of purpose and your why. And when people can see that, they're going to be very prepared for your transformation, and they're going to want to work with you in a way that they know that you can get them the results, okay? The other thing that I wrote down in my notes, I have so many notes, is the ability to, how do we make people feel seen? And we talked about like knowing their pain points, but also supporting them through the transformation. And so when we talk about gamification, we talk about rewarding people, but then also giving them the resources as they have become that new person, allowing them to feel like they can stay in that spot so they don't go back. And I think that sharing your mission statement with your audience also has a shared goal. Sharing your mission statement allows them to see the transformation you hope for them too. And that's something that I wish I would have just did earlier, so people could see my passion, right? And they would be able to grab onto that, okay? So sharing your mission statement with them empowers them and helps them to understand, the expectation of the journey. And the journey is important because it's what allows people to, they have anticipations and being able to meet those anticipations, okay? So let me know if you have any current questions about gamification, anything that you're struggling to implement, or anything that you would like to do deeper to really allow them to see and feel your intentions for their transformation. And then maybe if there's something missing that you feel like maybe there's something more. Yes, and Jen says mission statements are so helpful, keeps me on target for what I want to offer to my clients, but also what not to do. Shiny object syndrome gets me distracted. So I've been thinking about shiny object syndrome a lot because I was at a marketing event and we talked a lot about it. And something that I really loved from hearing this is I realized that gamification does something for when we infuse it in our programs, is that, gamification applied is the shiny object in your business. Okay. So when we talk about muting the noise of your competition, if you are applying and infusing your business and offer with gamification, they want to be there for your shiny objects, right? So literally, like, this is not a syndrome anymore, right? This is marketers use shiny object as a method, for transformation. Okay, if I can spell it right. And when we look at it like that, like, what can we infuse inside of our business to allow people to have the ahas, but also reward them? And when you don't have that, people are going to drop off your courses and they're not going to be able to think about that. And so something that I've been thinking about is just, you tell your people, I have infused this with some goodies, and you guys will have to tell me if shiny object syndrome is something we use outside of the marketing world, because I feel like that jargon is pretty niched. But letting them know, like, think of all the things that shine: diamonds, the sun, new things, jewelry, like, they are gifts in a way. When you buy yourself a new course, like, it feels like a gift, right? So there's some psychology going on in why we chase shiny objects, and there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you, but they're more powerful than we recognize, because we can harness that power by understanding that we can provide enough shininess and brightness and excitement and newness that they don't want to leave. Okay, so this is just something that when you really focus on, you'll really see, like, I have everything I need to give them. Okay, so let's just kind of like talk about shiny objects. Okay, yeah, my course and stuff is the shiny object. Yeah, once a course is gamified, when would you change the gamification, if at all? So I'm going to go to that question right after I write this down, because it's a really good question. The shiny objects are the badges that they can receive, right? It's the ability to say, like, I see you, you did the work, here's your reward. Badges can be digital, they can be physical, they can be pins, they can be stickers, they can be whatever you see fit, right? They can be trophies, okay? But also little things like points and leaderboards. Those work for me in terms of getting motivated. Like, oh, I want to get another 100 points today in this coaching program, and I know that I can do it, okay? Another shiny object is levels, being able to say, you've done all this work. Now you have the ability to work with me more closely. So when you see a lot of things, like when you think about, you can't go in certain programs because you have to do the application process. You're like, oh, I have to apply. This is like you meriting yourself. You're meriting your customers to be able to work with you, which is really powerful, because they'll be like, I've done the work. I'm ready to work one-to-one, which I really love, because it gives them the power, like, I'm in control and I'm doing the work to get there. Okay. So that's a really good question. We're going to just tap on it once gamified. Okay. A lot of people don't, some people have asked this, but they haven't had the data to know when to change the course. And I think the really interesting thing is that data will tell you, okay? So if you've gamified a program and people are going through it, and you have the analytics to see that people just aren't getting a badge at a certain stage, we need to take a look at the coursework and see, is there something that's going on that's not allowing them to progress? Is the shiny object shiny enough, right? That would be the next thing that I would say. I don't want to say like shinier the better, but you're going to know if those people need something more. Okay. Let's call that shiny object fulfillment. Okay. So these are are these things happening? Let's say that it is working. Okay. Data tells us that it's working. They do like it. Then what can we do more? When would I change that? If the data is getting you the results of, like, people are making the transformation, the best thing to do are these two things, okay? Survey your, like I would say, your finishers, your closers, your survey your clients, completed clients. Okay. So one thing, ask them, you know, that when I rewarded you, how did you think about this? And see what they say. See if they say, oh, I like the badges, or, oh, I was expecting something like this. Okay. And to go just a little bit deeper with gamification is after we've surveyed and we've done the shiny object fulfillment, like I would say, when does shiny object fulfillment end? Okay. And does it end? Can it end? And I'll tell you why. Okay. When we talk about, is there an end to what you fulfill, to your fulfillment? What if a client loves you and they want to work with you more, right? What if they're like, oh, that course was so good. My favorite part was this badge or this offer. I loved when you talked about, you know, taking control of my healthy lifestyle by giving me these resources. Okay. So some of the things you can do to add more, I would say, like how to know when to add more gamification. If your data is working, think about the resources that support the badge. Because there really isn't any end, right? Like if they're getting results and they really want to do it, maybe there's some additional like master classes or things that you would base off of those things, okay, that can take you deeper. But that is a really, really good question. And just knowing, like, in your value ladder, are you in a position that you can always over deliver and allow people to work with you? Because here, right, if the data is telling us that people are going through it, then we know that it is a good structure of gamification for that particular program. If it's not, we can talk about what we can do on the fulfillment side to make it more meaningful. We can also survey our clients who have gone through it. And you know what? Maybe even survey the ones who haven't. Okay. Maybe it's surveying your stuck clients to see why is the gamification not working for them? Why is it not working for others? The really neat thing about tapping into gamification is that some people, well, I'll tell you, like, the truth is, if I can spell, every client you're going to meet is going to be different, and they're going to like different types of teaching styles. And, you know, everyone at the end of the day, they're just motivated differently. So figuring out the gaps and holes will come by surveying your customer, by asking them, like, what, okay, so let's talk about if we're going to survey our customer. Because once we can do that, we can really get a little bit more information on what we can do. Okay, so I would say, like, what were the things that they really enjoyed? And, you know, asking deeper questions. You can do this even through email, or asking them if they can identify the transformation that you've provided. Okay. If they haven't, like, then we know, okay, we need to work on the gamification. And these questions aren't bad, because this is literally, like, as I always say, information leads to inspiration. So this allows people to voice what they want. And here's the thing, when you survey your clients, you can, this is the coolest thing about surveying, right? Is that it becomes, the new product becomes high touch, right? And it's completely customized according to their needs. And it gives you another positioning to help them, which, if you are any type of coach, which are the majority of the people that I serve, they want to create transformation. So being able to ask them their feedback on the particular product or offer that you've gamified by asking what worked, what did you love, you know, can you identify your transformation? What was your favorite part? And as they do that, you can really allow yourself to take a step back and say, okay, this is what worked, but these were the leaky holes that have come about. And I want you to remember that gamification is the framework and the pipe, but when people go through it, that's the water. So you're going to see like this worked really good for this person, or this person wasn't as receptive. And so finding the different types of ways that people are motivated can help you diversify the gamification that you have in your business, right? So that's a really good question. So let me know, you guys, it's the top of the hour and I have a hard stop to get on another call. Let me know what you post in the group about your favorite thing about gamification and what you want to learn more about. If you've already been there, done that, and you want to do more advanced strategies, because that's where I'm at now, is being able to serve people on a deeper level where they understand the points of gamification, but they want to just get a little bit deeper in the woods so they can help their people feel more seen and heard, that the transformation, it's not just about courses anymore, right? It's about transforming people's lives, and that you care enough that you have the vehicle to do it for them. And that's what I've always loved about gamification, is putting people's best interest at heart with what we build out. So we have the tools to equip them to get it done. Okay. So love you guys lots. Peace out.